Well, alright. Everything appears to be in working order. Everything seems to be working fine. I'm just double checking, making sure my audio is good, and I don't have myself muted by accident. Because that happened with my last My Hero Academia stream, and it kind of messed up the first half for everyone. But let's go ahead and get this started. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here. I've changed my camera perspective, I've lowered it, and as you guys can see, I moved one of my bookcases into the corner where I had all my stuff there before. So now I have that on display rather than it just being that stuff just laying in the corner. I told you I was going to remodel just a little bit if you've been paying attention to my Discord. So that's just something that I kind of did to, spice up the look, the background, as I do these reactions and these reviews going forward through this whole year. Quite proud of what I've done, moving all that stuff over. Had to dust off quite a few of my books a little bit because I haven't read them in a while. But it was nice moving them over. But let's go ahead and get started with solo leveling. This will not be a long stream today, depending on how this conversation goes with all of you. So, in the last chapter of solo leveling, the Ahjin Guild was created. Now, some have said that it felt like it was a very, very short chapter because there was a lot of talking involved, and some panels didn't even have any words. I can only describe them to you, and I was able to get through pretty much the majority of the chapter quickly just by describing what was going on because there wasn't all that much talking going on. But the Ahjin Guild has been officially formed with Sung Jin-Woo as the guild master and Hyung Jin-Ho as the vice guild master, and they are making their way to Japan because Jin has decided to go there in order to lend a hand, what with the Black Gate opening up and the giants assaulting everyone there, destroying buildings, and the colossal giant boss that is just sitting in front of the gate itself. Now we get to see what happens next. I don't know if there's going to be another Talk No Jutsu chapter, but it's time to find out. Chapter 134. And here in the first panel, we have soldiers, I guess, gathered in this one spot. It looks like they're taking away someone on a gurney, it looks like. Then we got another soldier here talking to some people and some civilians as some other people are being treated for their wounds. I heard Mage had a problem with solo leveling stream. Did I have any trouble? No, I haven't had any trouble with any of my solo leveling streams. Sometimes during the beginning when I would do my streams and it would process, it would tell me Ahjin Guild was officially created long ago. Last chapter was just about them helping Japan to gain recognition. Okay, Hagrid. So him just shaking hands with Gogun He and all that was just him officially announcing they're gonna help out Japan. It would have been. Hey, there's only so much I can translate from. There's only so much I can translate from wordless panels. So if the Ahjin Guild was already formed, I guess they didn't go through the whole ceremony. I guess I overlooked that whole incident. So apologies for that. But if him just was there with Gogun He saying he's going to help out with Japan, it would have been nice if they had some words because I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But no, Kohagen, I haven't had any trouble with my solo leveling streams. Whenever they post it, sometimes it will say I have limited ad suitability because apparently it said that some stuff was not ad friendly, even though all I do is just sit here in this chair and read. So that just baffled me, but I haven't had any trouble with doing my streams. No cease or desist orders, no DMCAs, no copyright strikes or anything like that because I don't show images. So I'm trying to be safe because I know Roger's base, he can't stream on YouTube until March because of his solo leveling streams. I don't know if he was showing images or whatever, but he can't do anything he can't stream like he wants to. And even though they didn't show any images, okay, so I don't know. I haven't been doing anything, nor have I been trying to promote anything on my videos or anything concerning solo leveling, so I'm grateful and thankful that I haven't run into any issues that could cause me to not be able to give you guys these streams. But continuing, I haven't even gotten to the first spoken dialogue of this chapter, and we still need to go through it. Just so you know, everyone, if I say any lines for a character, or if I mispronounce anything, these are early translations that get translated further again, like a revision later. But I'm just reading you what we get firsthand. So if I misspeak, or if I say something wrong, or if I say something that doesn't really make sense later down the line, then I apologize. Hey Gogeta! Also, let me acknowledge everyone here. Anime D Watcher, Hagrid, Kohagen, and Gogeta all here in chat. Welcome everyone. What happened? Oh no, Kohagen was just asking me if I had any trouble with my solo leveling streams. Haven't had any? I'm good. Alright, first spoken words of the chapter. How long have I been talking? 6 minutes and I haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. I am so sorry, everyone. Please forgive me. I just suffer from that Incredibles movie villain trope of monologuing. I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying to cut cold turkey. It's hard, you know? Once you've done something for so long, it is hard to just give up that habit. But, first word spoken. We do not have the space to transport all the patients. We can only take 3 or 4 people at most. And he's saying this to a slightly elderly couple. You've got to be kidding. We have more than 10 patients who are unable to move. Oh wait, that's not an elderly couple. That is a doctor. A medic. Must be multiple medics. We have more than 10 patients who are unable to move. We can't afford to worry about people who might die at any moment. The giants are heading this way. You'll die if you stay. I cannot abandon the patients. My wife and I promise we'll protect them to the end. Oh, so they are a couple. It's just a doctor. It's a doctor's couple. Okay. But I commend them for wanting to stay and help people. I mean, it's the job of a doctor to save lives. Even in this moment where giant titans are just walking around eating people. I cannot abandon the patients. My wife and I promise that we'll protect them till the end. In that case, I will also stay. I cannot run away alone knowing that civilians are remaining. Oh, so the soldier decides to stay behind then. First, we should take cover inside. And then there's a bang sound. As one of the giants, with a human still in his mouth, just peeks around the corner. He's all like, found you, humans. And the way this panel is lit up is there's two giants there. One behind the one peeking around the corner, and they both have their eyes lit up. I'm not sure which site you use to read solo leveling, but try using manga decks. They always release chapters early and have accurate transitions, especially guild scans. Okay, so the place I've been using is levelingsolo.com. Let me bring up manga decks. Manga decks. Solo leveling. I can't even spell leveling right. Solo leveling. Chapter has no pages. And it won't even let me bring up the page. It says 502 Bad Gateway. It won't even let me bring up the solo leveling page. Sorry about that, Hagrid, but it's not even letting me access it. Okay, I think I may have fixed it. Okay. Okay, I went to the home page, and now it's loading. It is Bad Gateway for me. I just went to the main site. Okay, so let me just stick with manga decks then for now. And we're here with the soldier saying, I cannot run away alone, knowing that civilians are staying. First, we should take cover inside. And then one of the giants peeks around the corner with a human in his mouth. 2 giants, in fact. and they both peer down on all the people. They are literally right in front of the trucks trying to get people out. It's a giant! Shoot! And note that they said that 31 giants have come out of the gate, and they only managed to kill 2. And the soldiers immediately start firing on the giants, but the bullets do absolutely nothing. Sorry about that. Family came in with some clothes. I got to go through that and make sure that I don't have my dad's by mistake. But the giant tries to grab him, and they're both shooting at the giant's hand, but it's doing nothing to deter him. And one of the soldiers screams, "No!" And then there's a boom. And the giant is hit by something. The giant is hit by something, and he hits the building. Hits the building enough to destroy... Oh my goodness! The giant is literally off his feet, and whatever hit him square in the head has launched him through the building and into, well, more buildings. But who did that? Oh, tell me your name. And the soldier's looking. Whoever hit the giant knocked him through not only a whole bunch of buildings, but pretty much completely down the block. And the other giant that's with him is looking like, what the heck was that? Somebody standing there. Who is that? Is that Tusk? Is that Tusk? I see a black and purple shadow. That might be one of Jin's. No. Who is... Wait, what creature is that? Oh, I remember. This is one of the creatures that Jin killed and turned into one of his familiars. I forget the name that he gave it. But it's the giant lizard creature that he turned. And he's standing up there. And he's towering over the people with a trident in hand. Yo! What in the world? Next page. Oh, yep, it's him. He's the only person in all of solo leveling that can casually walk along. Who you don't even have to see fully. You just see his hands in his pockets and you automatically know who this person is. Jin's here. This is too dangerous. We better move out of here. This place is too close to the hospital. And the doctor's looking on. And as some rubble from a nearby building is about to crash down on him. But then Jin-Ho comes in and shields the both of them so casually. You know, this is the most boss I have ever seen Jin-Ho in any of the chapters he's ever been in. He just came in like his eyes are in shadow. And without batting an eye, he just shields both the doctor and his wife so casually, like an absolute unit. Oh my goodness, Jin-Ho, you just went up on my favorite character in this series list. I'll stand by while helping these people get evacuated. And the wife is looking at Jin-Ho. Next page. All right. Yo, and it's Jin in all of his hand in my pocket splendor. And he starts building up energy, and he gets one of his daggers in his hands, and he just stands there being all cool and collected. And that new shadow, the giant lizard man that he turned, he roars out loud and he makes a stabbing motion in the direction of where the giants are. And he actually hits one of the giants and lifts them off their feet. What is his name? I forgot his name. What is his name? I need to know his name. I can't just keep calling him Lizard Man. But the new guy just picks up the giant with that thrust and just like skewers him. Think Sephiroth when he stabbed in the cloud in Advent Children Complete. That's pretty much what he did. Though without a 7-foot-long Masamune. And wait a minute. He has 2 of them. Oh, he killed 2 giants. He took down 2 giants. Not just 1, he took down 2. It's a long panel. He's stabbing into one. Jima. I think that's his name, Jima. He'll probably say it in this chapter just for me to confirm. But Jima not only kills 1 giant, but he stabs into another and takes that one down as well. This is just a big kaiju battle right now. That's the name of the lizard summon, Jima. You know, it's been so long since I've seen his name come up. That's why it just didn't dawn on me. Thank you, Hagrid. And then it shows Jin jumping on Jima's back, and he starts running up it, and then he jumps off of his back. And then it shows Jin in one panel, jumping up high into the air. Jumping up high into the air with his eye glowing. Sorry, I was trying to fit the image to the page so I didn't have to scroll so much because the pages are kind of enlarged here on Manga Dex. And he, in one slashing motion, slashes completely through one of the giants from top to bottom. Oh my goodness, this is such hotness. In one motion, he just kills one of the giants. Now we're at the east of Maryland in the US. Oh, Sung Jin-Woo went to Japan. Who's this speaking? From what I've heard, Lady Selner hasn't even released a single level of his power. They don't even know that Jin's power is basically limitless. That's why she hasn't released a level. He doesn't have a level to release. His power can just keep growing. And these dudes don't have no idea. They're just chilling, eating their food, thinking this guy won't live. He won't be strong enough to survive. All of our powers have been upgraded by Lady Selner. He should know very well that an ordinary hunter's abilities are limited. But Jin ain't ordinary. Anyway, he's a reawakened one, right? He's definitely getting carried away with his own strength. Does he really think those bugs are equal to giants? All hunters that overestimate themselves are bound to get killed. Well, lucky for our boy Jin, he's been killed already, and he has had a very good job of avoiding that fate again. And this guy, whoever this guy is, they lack critical information. Oh, no. You would think that the information of a hunter who has limitless power would circulate. So people who think, like these guys right here, just chilling and eating in this fancy little penthouse wherever they sit, and you would think they would have half a brain to realize that, you know what? This person has survived situations that have killed people with a higher rank than him, and he has come out on top. He has saved other S-rank hunters. He has been put in situations where no one thought that anyone could possibly pull it off. But let's talk as if we know him. Let's talk as if he's just some average hunter. It seems that these guys are a little bit lower on the pay grade, because otherwise they would know the information that Lady Selner and the other high-ranking officials of the U.S. Guild would be able to. They would know the same information as they know. And they wouldn't be talking smack about Jin. But these guys are looking in their eyes like, let me go back to it. Does he really think those bugs are equal to giants? All hunters that overestimate themselves are bound to get killed. And he's just grinning ear to ear with a glare in his eye. Like, bruh. You're speaking to a man who has 2 hearts with 100,000 plus MP. And his summons can get stronger, as strong as he can. Y'all crazy. True, prob means the Korean Hunter Association is doing a good job hiding the info. Hey, it just makes their downfall all the more sweet when they come in thinking that they're hot stuff, and then Jin just one-shots them and they're wondering, I'm sorry, sir. Like that one cutscene from Grand Theft Auto 5 where he says like, oh, he says something and then Franklin pulls a gun out and says, I want to apologize. Like something like that. But going into this next one, I bet my yacht that he'll die in a day. And they're both eating these fancy steaks with small baby tomatoes and mushrooms and peppers and string beans. You know, the full string bean stalks that no one eats on, and when you go out to eat, they just eat all the meat and all the extra stuff. He's just eating his steak and his wine. I'll bet my house that he'll die in 2 days. All right, then Are you sure about that? Oh, I remembered I gave this dude like a surfer accent. Are you sure about that? Hey, it's Andre. I forgot about Andre. But he's there, and the people around him are eating, and they're betting, one dude's betting his yacht, another's betting his house. Andre's all like, you sure you want to make that little proposition, dude? I don't think that's going to be such a good idea for you. I'll bet the Scavenger Guild's building that he'll survive. Yo! Basically, even normal S-rank hunters are fodder at this point. Compared to Jin, yeah. And Andre just grins ear to ear. He bets against them. He's betting the whole Scavenger Guild building and everything that it entails on Jin surviving. So that dude's betting his house, the other one's betting his yacht. I feel like Andre's going to be the only person who wins this bet. Anyway, you should focus on the S-tier gate that spawned on our side. The dungeon break is tomorrow. I wonder how many of us here will survive. I know this is not the ideal voice for Andre, but his tropical Hawaiian jacket, his shirt, his tropical shirts that he likes to wear, I just wanted to give him something stupid and ridiculous, even though he's a nation-level hunter. This guy always does a great job at spoiling the mood. Next page. It might have been more fun playing in Japan than in USA. And he's just casually eating as well. Well, I'm sure things will also get interesting here tomorrow. As he says this, a gate is there in the US. A black gate has popped up in Maryland. The same black gate that's in Tokyo and is spawning giants that are eating and killing people so nonchalantly, another one has spawned in the US. I don't know if this is like the same gate, like an exit point and an entry point, or if this is just another gate and it's gonna have even more different monsters just pop up. I don't know, but another gate has popped up. Interesting. And as he says that, we cut back to, I believe it's Japan. Lots of devastation, multiple, if not hundreds of buildings are on fire and completely destroyed. And we got the news crew. They're still up in the air. Thankfully, they haven't been swatted down by a giant, though knowing the luck of people's lives in this manhwa, I'm not going to hold my breath. Dear viewers, can you believe this sight? Hunter Jin-Woo's summons are taking down the giants! And it shows all of his bug creatures. They're swarming all over one giant. The giants are being devoured! Yes, it's the ants. All of his ant summons that he got from the Jeju Island Guild. Jeju Island. I imagine Andre sounds like All Might with a more playful tone. I'm sure Jin-Woo will survive. I'll even bet the Scavenger Guild's building. So maybe I'll give him that voice. Loud and boisterous with a jovial tone just a little bit. I might switch away from his surfer attitude and I might just give him like a voice akin to All Might's. So I'll try that. Thank you, Hagrid. Because I kind of been thinking about changing up his surfer voice. It might have been annoying some people. I don't know. But I'll change it up to that. But the ants that he got from the Jeju Island raid are now going and basically just eating one of these giants. Those monstrous. I like more the surfer voice. I'll put it to a vote. I'll see what you guys say. I might stick with the surfer and I might switch it up with All Might. I don't know. Whichever one everyone else enjoys. Those monstrous giants are being devoured by bugs. And then it shows one person running. Oh, it's a girl. She's running. It's a little girl. She's running away from one of the giants that are trying to eat her. And she's running. It's good, man. You do you. I'm just suggesting. It's all good, Hagrid. I'm always open to suggestions. You're never too good at something to learn something new. And before this giant can grab the little girl, a swarm of shadows pops up. Oh, is it your boy? Is it your boy, Igris? Is it your boy, Igris? Is it Igris? All I see is just streaks of lightning and like a cloak of shadow. And then there's a massive spray of blood as the giant looks on in complete awe as the hand of the giant is sliced off by Igris! Oh, yo, that's my boy! Yo, he just saved this little girl like Saitama saved the little girl in the very first chapter of One Punch Man. Picked him up in her arms, holding her tight and protecting her. In one hand, he's wielding the Demon King's longsword and just sliced that giant's arm completely off. Igris is literally one of the best characters. Even if he's just a shadow. The boss version of him was epic, was absolutely amazing. One of the greatest characters I've ever seen in any manga or any manhwa ever. But to see Igris be a shadow and him working with Jin and him protecting people and just being an absolute boss of all bosses, Igris is beyond amazing. Igris is at the top, okay? Underneath him is Beru, and then the rest of them. Igris and Beru, those are the best. But Igris, because he's like a good, morally awesome version of Artorias from Dark Souls with an even better outfit. I'm sorry, I'm harping. I am enjoying Igris far too much. It's just that every time Igris is in any chapter, I know it's automatically going to be a good chapter. I know. Oh, my goodness. I already know it's going to be a good chapter because Igris is here. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm out my seat. This is 9 out of 10 now. But anytime Igris shows up, it is always a good time. And he cuts off the hand while saving the little girl at the same time. And given the size of the little girl, Igris is massive. The little girl is probably about the size of my niece. God niece, to be more specific. And she's only like maybe a foot tall at most, maybe 2 feet, foot and a half. And he's holding her in her arms, and the dude is like big. I never really paid attention, but Igris is a massive dude. Igris is the OG commander summon. Igris is the greatest of all these summons. Beru may be one of the most powerful on the team, but Igris is right there for being just flat out amazing in everything he does. And he doesn't even say a word, yet his character speaks for him. That's how good of a character Igris is. But he saves the little girl. Let me move on. I will talk about Igris all day if I don't stop. Oh, and there's your boy Tank. No, not Tank, Iron. I mixed up his classification with his actual name. But Iron is right above him, preparing to bring down his Stormbreaker. Come on, let's be honest here. That's essentially Stormbreaker. Half axe, half hammer. It's Thor's Stormbreaker, but in, pure metal form. But Iron is right above this same giant, and he screams out loud, and brings his hammer straight down on the giant. enough force to not only dent in his skull, but send a shockwave out from the blow as well. And he just bodies the giant. Not only did this giant have the displeasure of getting his hand sliced off by a sword that can summon lightning endlessly, without end, without limit, without remorse, he also got his head caved in by a big old axe mallet. And it just craters into the ground as Igris shields himself and the little girl from the force of the blow so that, debris and stuff doesn't blow into the little girl's face. Preservation of humans. Igris is so good at it. My goodness. And going to the next page, Igris is just standing there with the little girl, holding her head like, "Be still, you young one. I will protect you." I wonder what type of voice Igris would have. Amazing how these characters feel so developed even though they didn't say a single word. Hagrid, dude, I said this when, Iron first joined the team, and he was doing stuff like bringing the heads of enemies that Jin had him go defeat, and it was like, praise me, Jin, but they never say anything. Barrow's the only one who started to speak, but Igris and Iron and Tank is the polar bear, I just remembered. Tank and Tusk, they all convey their character through their body language and how they interact with the other shadow summons. And you can tell just what type of mannerisms they have just by the way they behave. They don't even have to say a single word. Just by their behavior, you get a sense of what type of character they are. Iron just loves to fight and likes to bring back trophies in order to show off to Jin. Igris is there. Oh, did Igris actually get mad? Because there's like a little spot on his head. Like, dude, did you really have to smash that hard into the ground? You could have hurt this child. Now I understand what you mean, Cohagen. He actually was annoyed that Iron came in and smashed the giant's head into the ground. I don't think he actually knew that Iron was going to do that. And that sort of took them by surprise again. But the way that they all interact with one another without actually speaking a word just speaks to the level of character development they have. And you get a sense of what type of individual they are. They're not just shadows. They have their own personalities as well. That's why I love Igris so much. Because he's a character. Not just some random power that you can just forget about. He actually has behaviors and mannerisms and body language that you can read and get a sense of who he is. Not just him, but other shadows as well. At least the high-ranking ones. So, it's so cool that you can just do that without speaking a word for a character. It can be done. This is a perfect example of it. But Igris is kind of looking annoyed that Iron came in and, caused such a massive shockwave that he had to protect the child even more from what Iron just did. And then Iron, now note that all of them are in their, all of them have the look of black and purple, which means that either Jin is using his, monarch's field, I forget the exact, domain of the monarch. That's his buff that changes the color, because their usual color is like, what, black and blue? Black with blue highlights and flame highlights, but now they're black and with purplish highlights. So maybe they're being buffed by Jin's domain of the monarch, because that's how I usually see them. Or this is just the color that they're being right now. I don't know. It could be just Jin using his buff on all of them so that they can just take care of all of them. Well, I really hope one day Igris will have a voice. I will have to give him the best voice possible to, match with all the hype that I've been giving him. If Igris ever gets a voice, I need to make sure it's the best one. But Iron is just standing over his vanquished foe, and Igris is just standing there sweating. It's like, oh my goodness, we really don't have time for this. Dude, we got other giants to kill and other people to save. Can you just keep your head in the game, please? And then Iron is just looking at Igris and smiling. And then Igris looks at the little girl. And then Igris looks at the little girl. He's just shaking his head. And he's patting her head like, I'm sorry, child. It's the way he is. You'll have to ignore him. That's just what I'm getting from Igris, just patting her head and shaking his head. And he's just like, most likely when they get promoted to the same level as Beru. It's going to be interesting. And then it shows Jin and his thought process. Looks like Iron's excited because of his promotion. Alright, going to the next one. Well, he's doing his job well, so it's all good. And then the soldier stands there with Jin, and he says, thank you. Thank you for saving. And then he just puts a thumbs up to the soldier, and he says, you. Good. Brave soldier. Does he not know how to... I'm sorry, did you watch Hancock before you came to Japan? That's not how you say good job. Good job. Dude, do you not know how to give compliments? You, good. It is literally split up selectively. You, good. Brave soldier. And he says that with a deadpan expression on his face, with a thumbs up. And then the soldier can only say, yes, thank you. Jin-Woo, take this man with you and wrap up the evacuation. Yes, young Nim. And moving on to the last page. This way. And Jin is just standing there. And then his body lights up and his eyes light up. Now then. It's time to get serious. And he's just standing around the bodies of multiple giants. Actually, Jin-Woo can't speak Japanese. Oh! I thought he couldn't even say it right, but it's because that's what it sounds like Jin is saying to a person. I completely forgot that he was in Japan and that not everything is translated to English. This isn't the English dub of an anime. Not everything is translated into a singular language regardless of the region you go to. Jin cannot speak Japanese all that well, so the only thing that comes out understandable to the Japanese soldier is you, good, brave soldier. Jin, wow, and I bagged on him for sounding like Hancock, who doesn't even know how to give out compliments. Boy, am I oblivious. Thank you, sushi with wasabi. Oh, I haven't had that in years. I haven't had sushi in years. I might need to. I'm definitely not going to get, I feel like the best place to get sushi is from places that actually make sushi and not just sushi at, grocery stores because you don't know how long it's been. Sorry, monologuing again. But Jin is saying it's time to get serious as he stands over a body of a giant. And Jin is looking, yo, I'm sorry? Is he gonna raise a giant? He says, arise. I'm sorry? Jin is gonna try and raise one of them? And that's the end of the chapter. You can't do that to me. And at the bottom, it says 2021 Happy New Year. It has Jin in some robes, it has Beru in some robes, and then it has Igris in some robes as well, who's not looking too thrilled to actually be in those robes. That's the end of chapter 134. You know what? I'm going to bookmark this solo leveling page now. Thank you, Hagrid, for suggesting manga decks to me. I'm going to bookmark this page so that way I can rely on this, because this was actually a really good read. I enjoyed this. This was a good chapter. This was a good chapter. I loved it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, last panel is pure hype. Hagrid, you ain't kidding. Jin is trying to add an even more powerful monster to his repertoire. These are upper class A-rank dungeon type monsters, and Jin wants to add another one to his overall arsenal now. Arise. Oh my goodness. Jin with giants. Look, it's already something to see Jin just spawn in countless soldiers around him. It's already something when you see Jin spawn in creatures that, had absolutely no problem killing S-rank hunters. But it's going to be a whole nother sense of presence if Jin can grab multiple giants and have him in his crew. The power that Jin has is absolutely terrifying. Because as long as he keeps leveling up, the distance between what he can raise... I need to clip my nails, I just realized that. The distance between what he can raise and what he can't raise, that distance is becoming smaller and smaller as he continues to level up his powers and everything. It's just... the stronger Jin gets, the more terrifying he becomes. And the less I have, and the less I get worried about Jin having to have any enemies that can be a substantial weakness to him. Can you imagine next chapter Jin-Woo and his shadow soldiers covered in purple aura are staring down the giant boss? That would be sick. Hey, staring down him and his commander staring down the boss, it would be akin to that one specific panel in the recent chapter of One Piece. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it. Seeing Jin with his soldiers staring down the boss would be reminiscent of that panel from the recent chapter of One Piece. I'm not gonna, but yeah, this was a good chapter. Oh, I enjoyed it. Oh my goodness, I enjoyed this chapter. Igris doing his thing, Iron being himself, but Jin is in Japan now, and he's gonna lend a hand. But once Jin is done in Japan, where's he heading next? Because if word gets out that another gate pops up in Maryland, which happens to be my place of birth, by the way, I haven't been to Maryland in pretty much the majority of my life. I was born in Maryland, but then I moved to other states, with my dad being in the Army. But with another gate popping up, see? I'm monologuing. Again. But with another gate popping up in the U.S., does that mean that Jin may be making his way to the U.S. after the whole incident in Japan is done? That remains to be seen. All I know is that if Jin manages to get his hands on some giants, it is going to be even more difficult for... giants are already powerful. The army themselves only managed to kill 2 out of the 31 that came out of the gate. But if Jin manages to get his hands on some giants, along with his normal crew, and the fact that these giants can level up just like Igris and the others, that's scary. Jin is a scary dude. But it remains to be seen what's going to happen in the next chapter. But that's all I got for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to keep you too long because I can go longer, but I enjoyed this chapter of solo leveling today. And I thank you for giving me the time of day to check me out today, whether you're new here for the very first time or you're a returning subscriber. With that being said, I thoroughly enjoy doing this for all of you. I really do. I have great ambitions and dreams that I intend to achieve this year with this channel, such as going full-time and making this my full-time job, doing stuff here, working from home. That's what I intend to do this year, because if I don't do it now, I'm just gonna regret not doing it, and then I'm just gonna be stuck doing something that I do not enjoy. But that's my goal for this channel, so I just want to say thank you for giving me the time of day. You didn't have to. You didn't even have to spend these going on 44 minutes of me just reading through this. You didn't have to, but I appreciate the time you took. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you happen to be a new person here and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples. I just realized that my microphone was off. Sorry. Also realized that my bookcase is there now. I'm gonna have to make a brand new background for this in order to, you know, not show the bare wall that used to be there. Work in progress.